Let's go.
Oh, yeah. Let's go. I think we're live. Yes. Hello, everybody. Hello. Welcome to a very special live stream with Katie. And we're discussing school spirits. And as she was saying before we went live, she basically saw my tweet because I've only tweeted one time about this show. And she's like,
I latched on.
Yeah.
I found it. It was like bait or something. Like you threw out like a fishing pole, and I was like,
fishing.
Yeah!
Like, let's see what I'm going to catch today. Well, we were watching the show. I think it was episode 5 or something, I think, of season 2. And I'm like, more people need to watch the show because I don't hear anybody talking about it. I just don't. It's unfortunate.
Really good. It's really good. Like, I don't even do like murder mystery stuff, but I like Peyton List, and I was like, okay, we'll see. And then I watched like the first episode. I was like, oh, okay, I see.
Was that the reason why you started watching the show? Because of Peyton?
Or pretty much. I was gonna ask you the same thing. Pretty much. I was just like, you know how like all of my shows basically, which were like the Arrowverse and Teen Wolf and whatever, like everything ended a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
And I was just so bored. So I'm constantly looking at like Netflix, Hulu, Paramount, Max, like everything, Amazon Prime. And I saw something, I was like, that girl looks like Peyton List. That's interesting. And then I clicked it, I was like, oh, okay, so it's Peyton List. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was just like, I like sci-fi type of stuff. So I was like, let me give it a whirl. And here we are.
Yeah.
So
it's fair. Yeah. Peyton List was our in. It was like my wife and I, we love Cobra Kai to death. So to see Peyton, we're like, oh, she's in another show. So I think season 1, it was already starting to air. I don't think it completed season 1, like airing. And we just like, okay, let's check it out, see what happens. And we're like, all right. And I love the mystery of it at first, like what happened to her body, and then we eventually find out. It's like, okay, we're unraveling the information here. But now we're getting to the point where, like, I know you were like getting all the theories together. I honestly have only one major theory I think that's going to happen, or at least I think. But there's so many like kind of things they're throwing out, like could be major plot points that's going to wrap. Because I saw a promo on TikTok that was about the series finale or the season finale, saying all your questions, all your theories are gonna be, or it's all the answers. I'm like, are you gonna be able to answer everything? I don't think so. I don't know. Just came to say, well, thank you for coming to say hi. You should watch School Spirits. You should watch it.
It's very good.
Hello, everybody.
It's very good.
Yeah, you should watch it.
Very cool. Heck yeah.
Wait, is it on it's on Netflix Internet?
It is. I'm guessing season 1. They after a few months they dropped it on Netflix, and it got very big. Like a second wind kind of really picked up with it. It was in like the top 10, I think, for like a month. Like it was just kind of going.
Is that international or United States? I didn't know that was on Netflix.
I'm not sure if it's international. I know it's US for sure. Because I also go back and watch it on Netflix.
Oh, really?
No ads on my Netflix, so
yeah, we have Paramount, so we're actually watching and keeping up with it like that. But I mean,
yeah.
Same
here. It's definitely at least season 1 is, but I think they drop it a couple months after at least. But I'm very glad they did that because, like, how many people have Paramount Plus? So
that's fair, and that's why I think a season 3 is probably going to happen because I think season 2 was announced way after season 1 was done. Like it wasn't like season 1 hit, okay, a week later, boom, season 2. Like it waited like a while. I think they even said, actually I have the Wikipedia pulled up here. Let's see. Looking for the actual like production of it.
I know season 2 took forever to finish. Filming.
Oh, so in June it was they started airing on March 9th, and they waited till June of that year to announce season 2 was coming. But that was 2023. Yeah. We had to wait till January of 2025 for it to start.
It was rough. It was rough. When we were waiting, I think that's like when they were gonna go into production, I would assume. Like the strikes happened, and I know like Cobra Kai was, I'm sure, hard because Peyton was filming that. But like we've been waiting. It's been 84 years. Like truly.
Yeah, it's like, and I actually read this too. It is based off of like, so it's not like an original concept per se. It's like based off of It's a forthcoming graphic novel that hasn't been actually released yet. So it's kind of weird how
Oh,
it's kind of
okay.
weird that the show is like it's like the reverse of like Game of Thrones where you already had
Yeah.
5 books before the show started. The show's been going and the the original
Yeah.
material isn't out yet.
Dang. I wonder how like I wonder once it comes out, like how much of it's gonna like mirror the comic or if it's just gonna be like
Mhm.
loosely like I wanna know how much they adapted from it. But
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I
no
mean, I
idea.
think the way it is, I think it's fine. I don't know what else they could do
Mhm.
differently. I mean, sure, I guess you get more. I don't know. I feel like
Maybe the
they pretty
twists
much
are different. I don't know.
maybe they have different characters as the spirits.
Mm.
Who knows? Maybe, or at least like different looks of the characters. Um, I actually wanted to ask this question because not including Maddie because she's in that kind of realm of dead but not dead.
Yeah.
Who is your favorite living and then non-living character? Because we have
Mm.
2 sets of characters we're following, so not including Maddie, because
Okay.
obviously she's in that middle area,
Yeah.
kinda.
Oh, oh gosh. You know what? I've never fully thought about it. Because
Mhm,
I actually season 2 especially has really made me like the living crew a lot.
mhm.
Like season 1 it was mostly just like Simon and like
Yeah, yeah,
people
that's
were
fair.
annoying sometimes. Season 2, like the living crew for the most part has been really fun. I don't want to say Simon, that's basic, but like I really like Xavier this season, I have to say.
Yeah,
He is
yeah,
fascinating me. Him and oh my gosh, I love the ghost crew. They're so man, I'm gonna say I think I have to go with my girl Rhonda. Miss Sarah,
yeah,
she has been acting her butt off with her this season.
mhm,
Like she has just been incredible. And they're all really good actors, I think. Like it's been very solid. But she's had
mhm.
like multiple scenes where I'm like, dang girl, like she that's my girl. I feel horrible for that girl. But anyway, I guess same for you, because I've never actually spoken about it with you before. So who do you like?
Uh, I think you're right about having the living characters have gotten better this season. Um, I still think it's Simon for the living. I feel
He's
like they've really
yeah.
explored his character a lot. They definitely have improved Xavier because Xavier was kind of just like he's just kind of there in season 1 because he was a boyfriend
Mhm.
or whatever, like the whole thing there. So they had to include him, but I feel like they've done a lot more with him, especially his connection, but not really because he didn't know he was actually texting her through this like,
Yeah.
website or whatever. So that was
Mhm.
weird. But I think it's Simon. I think for living, honestly, I think you nailed it. I think it really is Rhonda because season 1, she has this hard edge to her. You don't really get to
Yeah.
know her that much. But they
Mhm.
have literally peeled that back in season 2, and I feel like that's really smart because if she was just that one note continuing into season 2 and that's all she was, I don't think I would really care for her character because we're
Yeah.
not seeing new. We're just seeing, okay, it's the same shtick. But she's doing it for a reason. She doesn't trust anybody. So
Mhm.
I get it. But I
Gosh. Ugh,
I think
her
I think everyone's
flashbacks are
great.
just they really yeah, it's a
Mhm.
good crew, I think all of them. Nicole sometimes girl Nicole gets on my nerves sometimes, but I do like her still, but just, like, some of the decisions she makes, I'm like, "Girl, just why would you why would you do that? Why would you do that?"
Mhm.
But
Yeah,
in
yeah.
general, I do really like all of them. Yeah, Rhonda, like, her flashback scenes, like, with the scar and, like, right after she died, it just ugh,
Mhm.
it was just, like, gut-wrenching, truly, to watch, but
Having them all relive, in a sense, their deaths is kind of bonkers because
yeah.
it's something that we've heard them discuss in season 1, but to actually find a way to actually show it because there's more layers to this kind of middle area they are in terms of like purgatory, if you will,
Mhm.
because they haven't crossed over yet. So I think they found an interesting way to visualize that in the show because it's not just, oh, we're just kind of seeing the school. And they found new locations in the school this year. Like it's interesting that,
Yeah.
oh, there's new locations and new characters as the spirits. Like we have oh, I'm forgetting his name actually. Let me see if I can pull up the name here. He's the guy who's constantly working on the clay and
Oh,
stuff.
Yuri. Yuri.
Yeah, yeah, Yuri. It's like interesting to see him because I don't think we didn't hear anything about this character. And then we
Mm-mm.
have somebody from the band who broke
Yeah,
off of
Quinn, yeah.
the it's like, oh, okay. And I'm thinking, okay, what do you do with season 3? because there's not really much more you can do spirit wise. I don't think, unless someone new dies at the end of season 2 that is now stuck in the crew.
Yeah,
I don't
that's
know.
what I was gonna ask you. Is do you think someone we know is going to die? There are some theories that Simon is going to die, and I don't want that at all. But
who kills him? Who kills him?
I don't know, but people are
Okay.
thinking because a few times during scenes there's been red light in the background. So people are thinking it's kind of foreshadowing. But like we can't have that. We simply can't. That's not gonna work for me.
If Maddie makes the decision to take her body back, because now she's even questioning. It's not this. She's like, it went from I need my body back to it's not that simple. Because I don't know. If she takes her body back and he dies in the process at the same time, ooh.
Oh, that is the worst. Don't even.
It's good storytelling. It's good storytelling, though. It is, because if it's Xavier, it's not as impactful, right? He's just a fling at one point because she's already moved on to I forget his name, the football boy. Yeah, she's already moved on to Wally. We saw bare ass Wally. Okay.
Oh, we did. Somebody said we saw his split river, and I was like, "Wow, you're right."
Split river.
Oh god.
But yeah, so she's already technically moved on in a sense.
Yeah, it's hard with her because like I get it. I get why Simon was mad because it's like he's done all this work for her to try and get her back and all that. But like Maddie she's choosing between worlds at this point, right? Like these people are also her people now, and like Simon has no connection to them. He can't interact with them. So he's just like, what are you talking about? Come back. But like they're with her constantly, like every day. Like I get it, but like you need to go back. Like you need to go back. I get it though. It's hard.
This is also another point. He does keep talking about college a lot. It's like because we're watching a show called Fire Country, which is a CBS show, which is also Paramount. A character says a line. We haven't finished the episode yet, but we were starting an episode, and this character says, "Yep, one last time I'm gonna be on call with you guys before I head overseas." And I'm thinking, you know what this reminds me of? And I said, my wife's like, "What?" I said, remember when a certain character on a certain DC show said, I'm going to go out one more time as the Black Canary, and then I'm going to retire. And I'm like, honey, this is the same thing. I don't know what happens to that guy in the show, but I'm like, I've heard this before. Before. And look what happened. So
that's always a bad line. Once you hear that line, it's always ominous. I don't like it.
One last time. Yeah. So I don't know. So the college show, I think it's smart. What are some of the theories? Because honestly, I don't really know what's being said out there in terms of, is it theories about the season 2 finale or like future stuff they could do past
mostly season 2 finale. Like, what are we leaving on? What's going to be the crazy cliffhanger? Because season 1 cliffhanger, I have to say, I did know that there was something crazy. They're like, whatever you think it is, it's not that. It's like, they're going to be a cult or something. Like, I don't know what's going on. But for some reason, I did not, nowhere in my mind did I think she's going to be possessed. Like, no, it did not even. So I didn't record it, but I just like had my phone up just because I was like, okay, let me see how crazy this is. My jaw hit the floor. Like, she went into her body. Like, oh, it was a whole. So apparently, I think based on what the cast has said is, I don't think we're gonna be jumping for joy at the finale. That it's gonna be another. They're like, whatever you think it is, it's worse. Basically, like the worst thing you can imagine. So I really hope we get a season 3 because I'm gonna jump.
Yeah, that pretty much implies someone dies.
I don't know. I know one of the theories is that Maddie is gonna try and get back in her body, and she's going to die, or she's gonna be in a coma, because there have been a couple times with Janet where she has blood on her head. So people are
Oh,
saying she's not healing or whatever. Like she's just kind of like she doesn't feel any pain. She's just kind of whatever. So people think when they make
yeah.
the switch back, either she's just gonna fully die for real, or she's gonna be put into a coma, which will bring her to the hospital where her father is. Which is
That's good.
that's pretty
Because
good.
they mentioned Xavier's like, I saw her father, and there's like,
Mm-hmm.
don't say nothing about it. Don't talk about it. It's like,
Why?
mm,
Yeah. Also, I did not catch that that was her father till I was like,
no,
"Why is he looking at that picture? What's that about?" He was like, "I think I saw Maddie's dad." I was like, "Right, right."
sure. They should have made that more clear at the time when he actually did see him in the hospital.
Yeah, a little
Uh,
flash, something, little
something like,
yeah.
oh. It's like, yeah,
Mhm.
I feel like Simon's gonna go. Or, well, if Maddie dies, the show's done, right? Like, could you continue without Maddie?
Well, I guess since she'd still be in the school, presumably, I guess it'd be like up to her, like moving on. I would assume, like the rest of the
Yeah,
crew. But, like, I don't want that. You're gonna tell me her body's right there, and then you're not gonna let her find
go
a way
back.
back? Like, ugh, that just sucks. But you know what?
I
This show's depressing
yeah.
sometimes, so they might.
Yeah, my kind of theory was like, okay, you're saying no jumping for joy. My thinking was she gets her body back, and season 3 is focusing on her helping the rest of them because I'm assuming she's still going to be able to see all of them because of her
I would hope
experience and
so.
everything. She can help them move on, help
Yeah.
them finally. But you're saying no jumping for joy where there's not a happy ending. So something tells me that she tries to switch back and it doesn't work.
Mm.
Or and then someone may die in the process. Maybe
Or
Janet
even
crosses
Janet,
over.
yeah, Janet even she just dies. Like, something happens right before the switch or something, and then, like, that's at the end. Oh, God.
Yeah. Well, like the teacher, he's gone.
Oh,
He's
he
driving
is yeah.
away.
Mhm. He's
So
on the run. Mr. Martin is on the run, for sure.
so
Which is
like so
horrifying.
yeah, so the question is like, okay, if he's driving away, how do you can't bring him back? He's gone. Like how can they find him?
Unless you kidnap him or whatever. I don't know. They were kind of able to track down Janet, sort of, in little spurts. So maybe,
Yeah.
but he is scarier than Janet to me. Like he is just
Yeah.
a really vile, scary person who is now just like in the free world.
As another teacher, you
Yeah.
know, yeah.
Poor Mr. whatever Anderson. Like, he's just
Yeah.
out golfing, minding his own business half the time, but, like, he did not deserve this. Like, oh
No.
gosh.
And now you
Yeah.
take it doesn't make sense. But I don't know what you do, like how you get him back to the school or something.
Yeah.
I just don't think it's gonna happen. I feel like that character's got or maybe
Maybe they threaten Janet's, like, safety or something. Maybe he just, like, cares about her
mm,
too much or something. He has to, like, put a
did you
stop
get the
to it.
vibe? Did you get the vibe of like some creepy shit when he
I
took her
did.
home that one
Yes, I did.
time?
Mhm.
Okay, because I'm sitting there going, they're not saying it, but man, they're really
It was
implying it.
it was weird. Yeah, it was weird for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't like the father either, but, like, yeah, don't bring her don't don't! Like, don't
Mm.
bring her home in your car and hang out, like, that's no. But I feel absolutely horrible for Janet. That just sucks, dude. I mean, I feel bad for all these people, but, like, all we knew about Janet in season 1 was, like,
Yeah.
I don't know, switch
No,
places. That's
yeah, I'm
interesting.
wondering if he means like Maddie's going to obviously get her body back, but then someone else dies in the process, like we were saying, or
Mm.
is he saying that Maddie takes over someone else's body because she can't go back into her body right now or something?
Yeah, there's a theory too that Simon might sacrifice himself.
Mm.
So maybe it's for Maddie. Maybe he will be a shell. That just sucks. Just
That
so
is
many bad
so he
options,
so
you
he's
know?
stuck in the school, but she's in his body.
Yeah.
Or what if they explain it to where her body is so weak that she has to go into the hospital? Like, Janet exits, and then the
Mhm.
body's just a husk, just kind of in a coma at the hospital, and Maddie's still stuck in the school, or maybe Maddie is stuck inside her own head, and she can't do
Oh.
anything. And then Simon's at the school, and they're trying to orchestrate and maybe organize once she wakes up to get her back in or something. I don't know. There's a
Mm. Stuck in her mind. I feel like in some way, like, somebody's gotta end up at the hospital or something. Because why would we just I mean, I guess we could just say, like, "Oh, Xavier saw the ghost, so now he will believe Simon," like, I guess, but I feel like there's more to it, especially because we saw Maddie's father there, that
Mhm.
it's like, there's
Yeah.
gotta be more with him. So somebody's gotta be back at the hospital.
My thinking is too, if you're showing hospital spirits, like, 2 things are thinking. 1, are you implying a subplot we're gonna get in season 3? We're gonna deal with other spirits in other places.
Mhm.
Or is this implying that we could get a spinoff of something that's
Oh.
not related to the school, you know?
Oh, that would be cool. I would not mind it. Like
Yeah,
Grey's
something
Anatomy,
different.
but it's just like they're all dead.
Hospital
Like,
spirits.
okay,
Or
heck yeah.
something, because I mean, with this, there is, like, obviously adult characters in the show, but it's mostly just kids or
Yeah.
kids that died and they're stuck in that age, and
Mhm.
they've been there for, like, 50, 60, 20, 30 plus years, and they're just kinda stuck, which that's also the issue with the show is that at a certain point, these actors, spirit and living, are going to age out of these
That's
roles, so
true.
you can't do t I don't know how much more they can go. I mean, I guess they could do at least 2 more seasons hypothetically, but at a certain point, they're gonna start aging out of their look a
Mhm.
little bit, so
Mhm. This is true. Yeah. I am kind of going with the theory for now that like it's not gonna work. Maddie's gonna be stuck in a coma, and then we're in the hospital. Maddie sees her dad in the hospital. Cut to black. That's gonna suck.
Mm,
That's kind of my working theory. Like I don't know, but there's a lot going around. I have a few. Some of
okay,
them we talked about already, but oh,
okay.
this one is more of a prediction than a theory, I think, but I did think of this from last episode and I really 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 want to see it. So, when they were talking about the energy experiment and Mr. Martin was like forcing Janet into his scar over and over
Mhm.
again. First of all, nightmare. Second of all, poor Janet.
Yeah.
But the janitor sees Mr. Martin when
Oh,
the veil
yes.
thins.
Yes.
So I'm predicting something we're gonna have to redo or like start up this whole energy, whatever thing with everybody going in their scars, thinning the veil, and
Mhm.
then the living and the dead ghosts, excuse me, sorry, pardon me, group will be able to see each other. Like not just Simon, the whole crew, which would be
Mm, okay. S
I would love that.
so, moving forward, they'd be able to see each other.
I don't know about I don't know about moving forward, but that's something I thought about too is like what if they just like destroy this veil
Mhm.
and it does end up being permanent. Like they just look like regular humans in it. Like that would be very trippy. But again, I'm thinking of it's going to be bad. And that seems great to me. So
Yeah, it would
I
be
don't know if
bad
I believe
because
that.
now everyone can see Ghost, and they're
That's
like,
true,
"Oh, it's
yeah.
just another student." Oh, they walked right through them.
Mm,
Uh-oh.
that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
But I
I
do wanna
had
see it
this
at least temporarily, like, I want
mm,
them all to, like, see the crew and, like, connect with them, you
'cause
know?
that whole scene where they're like they had, like, the chairs and their pictures set
Yeah,
up, like,
I love that scene, I love that scene. Oh
it
my
was good.
gosh, it was really
Had
cute.
I had this thought, and I was really hoping they would do it. So, when her mom basically crashes the school's, like, reunion that they were having,
Yeah,
and Maddie sees her mom has been through a lot of traumatic and that's how they explain how Simon can see her because he's been through a lot of traumatic stuff, so he's able to see her.
mhm.
I was thinking, "Oh my god, what if the mom sees her? What if, like,
Ooh, that's
that'd be"
true,
and
yeah.
and then they didn't do it. But I
Hmm.
wonder if that will happen, though. like at some point if the body switching doesn't work. Because I think you're right. Based on the no jumping for joy, then she doesn't get her body back. That's the whole point of the show. But they're gonna find a way for her not to get it. But what if her mom sees her, like actually her, not Janet, but sees
Yeah.
her? She's gonna find a way to go back to that dang school.
Oh yeah.
All the time
Oh
to see
yeah,
her.
that's true. She's gonna be like the new like theater teacher or something. Like she'll figure it out. Oh,
Just kind of
gosh.
staring at nothing
But
and talking to
I
it.
do kind of want to like I want her to have a conversation with her. Like, man, it just sucks. Like we're so spoiled with Simon
Yeah.
being able to talk to her all the time. It's like these other kids, like Nicole and even Claire and Xavier, like they care about her so much, and it's just like, hey Simon, like Tori said hi, dude. Like it's just, you have to
It's
connect like
so
that.
like ridiculous to believe, but obviously once you get to see Janet Maddie, it's not Maddie. But they're
Yeah.
like going, Simon, what are you talking about? What do you mean? There's like, because now they're in a room talking with nothing, and he has to interpret everything they're saying, and it's like,
Yeah.
yeah. So it would be interesting for them to all see each other in a sense. I think that whole idea of like thinning the veil so they could all kind of be face to face and actually communicate. Because maybe that's like a third act thing, right? They're able to communicate running through the school, trying to do stuff, and they're all
Yes.
working together.
That's my dream. That is my dream for the finale. That's what I want so bad.
But then it doesn't go right. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, maybe they go too hard. Like everybody's in their scars and everybody's like trying to get this because whatever they said, trauma equals energy. So like maybe they're just gonna
Yeah.
overload it and like and then
Could.
what? Like
Yeah.
that, oh god. That could be bad. Like imagine if they do
I was
that and
thinking
then just
if
the
it's a
ghosts
jump for
disappear. Like they overload the system and they're just gone. Like I didn't think of that, but
that would be, well, that'd be bad for a lot of the spirit actors who'd no longer have a job.
well,
But
I mean, okay, let's say we think they're gone.
it
Like
would be
they're
eye
just
opening.
they disappear. Like where'd they go?
Okay.
That'd be scary. Listen, I'm trying to think of bad scenarios. Okay, like they said, I'm not gonna be happy, so I'm trying to think of things that would not bring me joy.
Yeah.
But, oh gosh,
I mean, the only way, if we were going for a jump for joy finale, all of them find a way to cross over when they overload their scars. But that would mean that we're ending on a good note. We can't, apparently.
Yeah, apparently not. Or maybe they're just throwing, I don't know. Maybe they're just really swerving us. I don't know. But I'm pretty positive. Let me see if I can find it. Like, because I swear they said, like, it's the worst thing like you can think of. Oh my gosh. Finale interview. Let's see. I wonder if I'm able to find it. School Spirits is in for a shocking finale. Ugh.
Oh no.
Shocking. I don't like shocking.
Shocking.
Let me see. They said that it will be even crazier than last time. And they said maybe we shouldn't set the expectations so high, but the finale would have us on the edge of our seats. And then the actor that played Simon, he said, think about the worst thing that could happen and then worse than that. So that's great. Does not make me too excited. But I'm scared. But I really, if they end it, and there's no season 3, don't play with me like that, bro. I've been burned too many times.
I'd prefer, well, I wouldn't like a bad ending for the show to be done, because I'd prefer like they announce season 3 and it's the final season. At least we know there's a conclusion versus like, oh, this is the ending, we're done. It's like, okay, because normally with shows, they announce ahead of time when they announce like a streaming show, it's the 3rd or 4th and final season. Kind of like how they did Supergirl or The Flash. They announce, boom, ending. So that'd be really crap. Like, oh, here's the season finale. Oh, by the way, the show's done. Like, we're not getting like we're not canceled. We're just like, this is it. Like,
it'll just be that sucks. But you know what? It would be really bad, but there have been too many shows that have done that exact thing to
Yeah.
me, so I
Mhm.
can't get my hopes up. Like,
Well,
so I like to
I
keep the
mean,
bar really low, just so low.
I wonder, just thinking this out loud,
Mhm.
people have crossed over, right? They said that,
Yeah.
oh, people have crossed over. Well, what if that's not true? What if they tell
Oh,
us? What if
that's
they told
true.
us? And when they try to overload the scars or whatever they're going to do in the finale,
Yeah.
it backfires. And then all these people who crossed over, they're now back.
Oh! Oh, that's really good. By good, I mean really bad.
Yeah, bad.
Really bad. Yeah.
Bad. Yeah.
Oh gosh. That or even like say we think they're crossing over. They all see their door with the white light and whatever. Yay! And then they just end up in like hell or something. Like they
Mm.
open the door and they're just in a nightmare. Please don't.
Okay,
I can't do
so
it.
all of this is tied to Janet, right? And the teacher.
Yeah.
Just throwing this out there. What
Okay.
if season 3 is them stuck back in time before the events of that?
Ooh. I would love a little time jump. That'd be cool.
I mean, because who says we can't? Because we're already dealing with the afterlife. We're dealing with, spirits, ghosts. We're dealing with so. Who's to say? Because we're going through
Yeah.
portals and seeing things that they experienced
Mhm.
when they died.
Yeah.
Well,
What's a
who's to
time
say?
jump?
Well, who's this? Well, or what if they all get stuck individually in their time
Oh,
before the event, and they have to
yeah.
somehow maybe can they prevent it?
Change it almost? Yeah.
Can they prevent their death?
Ooh.
And
Oh,
maybe
that's good.
that's like the thing where maybe Maddie gets in her body and everyone else is good, but then they're all stuck. All the spirits are stuck in their past time, and then
Mm.
when they successfully prevent their death, then they magically appear in the timeline, and then they can interact with them alive.
Ooh, that's really good. That'd be really cool. Oh
It's probably
gosh.
thinking maybe too much, but that would be interesting.
There's a lot of listen, there like with sci-fi type of stuff, you can do basically anything.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of things that make sense. Um, that's a good one. I would like a little time travel thing. Like I love when they did the things. Well, I can't say I did love it, but it was just so hard to watch when like Rhonda got her letter. Everyone's like,
Mhm.
"Good for you, girl!" And she's just walking towards her doom, like what you know it is. Basically, she's going to see what the heck's his name, Mister
The counselor.
Manfredo.
Yeah.
And you just know it's gonna happen. Oh my gosh! Or like
I'm trying to figure out
even
why
maybe if
did he
oh
kill
no, go
her?
ahead.
Do we know?
We don't know for sure, but I think most people are assuming that he was kind of obsessed with her, wanted to stay because she was gonna go away to like
Mhm.
Stanford or wherever. So
Yeah.
maybe he just kind of blew up like, "You're leaving me? You can't leave me. That's not an option." And like that's kind of what
Mm.
people are assuming.
Okay.
But
Okay.
ugh, which is just
Gotcha.
the ick, big ick. Um or even if we're not gonna time jump, maybe they just all get, like, stuck in their scars, and, like, they're just going crazy, like, over and over and over again. They're just in this nightmare. I don't know. That would be really depressing, and I'd hate it. But maybe their
That would be
keys get taken away, and they're just they're stuck.
I mean, that would be interesting, right? If they're all stuck in what like their own version of hell,
Mhm.
how do they get out? Or does like one or does like literally are does the veil if maybe the veil's thinned out to where the humans can go into these scars and try to figure out a way to get them out.
Oh, that'd
And
be
maybe that's
cool.
how they're able to see them once they're able to pull them out of their scar or save them to where
Mm,
they're not in a constant loop of it or something. And
yeah,
then once they're back in the school as a spirit, they can then interact with them. Like that's how they
that'd
can
be
able to
cool.
see them.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm,
I like that. I like
yeah.
that. Like, maybe we have to do, like, the gauntlet, because I we know that they're all connected, so, like, this
Hmm.
one leads to this one, blah, 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 blah,
Yeah.
blah, like, maybe we just gotta But then what happens? Because that implies you got to go through all of them. And then didn't they say like that's how Mr. Martin like or Janet or whoever got out like was through there where they were able to like go under the barrier or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like there should be more of that because they did this whole map. We got connecting dots. 1, 2, 3, 4. These ones go here. I feel like we didn't
That's gonna come back
show
into
that yet.
play, I think. You show that map and it's like, "Oh, well," it's like, I think it's very specific. There's stuff that they seeded in season 1 we didn't realize was a major thing in season 2. 'Cause
Yeah.
number 1, we didn't know the significance of Janet until literally we finally see what happened to Maddie when she opened that door, and I think to your point, the janitor seeing him sitting in that chair
That's a big drop.
and
Like
they
something's
literally
gotta
just
come of that.
and they let it sit, and they moved on from it, and I'm like, "Well,
Mhm.
hold up, wait a minute,
Mhm.
what's the" because I think that's gonna have good and bad implications for our
Yeah.
characters. Oh, they might be able to see the ghost, they might be able to interact with these characters they've been kinda working together with in a way,
Mhm.
but the bad side is everyone else possibly could, or
Mhm.
something
Maybe the
else could
living will be stuck behind the barrier with them. Maybe they can't leave
m
the school now. I don't
maybe
know.
the
That's
scars are able to escape their reality and be in ours.
mm.
Ma
I don't
I
know.
don't know.
There's that thing with the janitor. There's no like that's something. That's something really big.
Ooh, what if somebody possesses Maddie's mom?
Oh gosh. Oh, this poor woman has been through too
Yeah,
much.
yeah, yeah.
Please, like
Maddie gets her
leave
body
her.
back, but then her mom is stuck in there, in the school.
Oh my gosh. But like that's what I'm it's almost kind of a similar thing with like Mr. Anderson, where like he was so
Mhm,
not close with Maddie, but like, he's like a mentor to her. And like now this guy can we just like have them be happy? How do we end this with
mhm,
everyone being happy? And
yeah,
there's no like it sucks because there's no real way for everyone to be happy. Because even if or Maddie goes back, Wally's gonna be majorly bummed out, and they're really
mhm,
like they're cute. They're
yeah,
cute. They're a good couple. Like I'm gonna feel so awful for him, but like there's just no way at this current moment that everyone's gonna be happy, which is
yeah.
concerning.
Well, because they said obviously they said this season, well, maybe the show could end on a better note or a good note when
Yeah,
it
yeah.
ends.
Mhm.
Okay, well, they need a body to get out. That's what they're saying they need to get out or to cross over.
Mm.
Nothing says that
A
something could
mother's love.
happen that or something could happen to where they could just basically be alive again without a body, like something happens to the veil or
Mm.
something, and they're able to just
How trippy would that
become
be?
alive again? I don't know.
How trippy would that be? Especially for,
As you
like,
said,
the
it's
older
it's a
ghosts,
sci-fi show.
like no,
Yeah,
no, yeah, it'd be awesome, but, like, imagine, like,
yeah,
even Wally and Rhonda I think Charlie was, like, 2000s-y, I think, but, like, them
kinda,
2
or 90s, yeah.
especially,
Mm,
oh, they would be thrown for a major loop because they what that's been, like, 40, 50 years or something, like, oh my
mhm.
gosh, that'd be really cool, though, I would like that.
I mean, they've kinda kept up with the times because of school has been
It's true,
adapting and
yeah.
changing, but
Mhm.
yeah, I mean, it's one thing to be constantly surrounded by just kids, and now you're
Yeah.
living in the real world, but I who's to
But that's
say?
the interact with them, so it's kinda like I was reading about how Rhonda's personality, like, makes sense because back in her time, everything is about, like, kinda pleasing the man, making sure that he was happy, so, like, even when, earlier in the season, we found out that that Rhonda told Mr. Martin about, Simon being able to see Maddie because she
Mhm,
was, like, trying to it was like a desperation attempt, like, "Wait, like, I could be good almost," like, type of
yeah,
thing. So, I don't know, maybe that would be kind of interesting to explore, like and Wally too, he was saying, like, he would have hated Charlie if he, like,
mhm.
was with
Yeah,
them in her
yeah,
life, like, to see them kinda have to actually see like interact with all these present day people, because you can watch them, sure, but like you can kind of disassociate yourself, like it's like you're kind
Mhm,
of just watching TV, like, but
mhm.
now when you'd have to connect with them and like try and socialize, that could be a whole mess. I don't know. That would be really cool though.
Yeah, I think the beauty of the show is that they're showing the growth of these characters from different time periods and how they see things differently because of how time has evolved them. Also, I
Mhm.
do think, like, having I keep forgetting his name, the teacher, um,
Mr. Anderson or Mr. Martin, the
Mr.
evil
Mar yeah,
one?
Mr. Martin. Yeah.
Yeah.
Having him, even though it was all like a ploy, like he's all tricking them, like basically them for them to have like group sessions and talking. I think it does actually help them as individuals. Not so much what he's
Yes.
wanting to do or what his kind of ulterior motives are, but they're able to kind of explore and kind of see the perspectives of other people from different time periods who have passed and to see how that may change their perspective on things. I think they did a good job of like establishing that in season 1 and really diving into season 2. I just don't know where you go from here because if Maddie stays, is the point of her to cross over in season 3? Like
I
does
would
like
think so,
does
yeah.
yeah, because if Janet leaves the body and they're trying to transfer her over, if the body just dies, because from what we understand, Maddie was in her body. Janet pushed her out and took
Mhm.
over instantly. You're thinking of like she can't feel pain. There's blood on the back of her head, but she's not responding to pain as far as we can tell. Like she's just like struggling in the chair, but she's not like
Yeah.
showing pain.
And, like,
What
even
if
when
it's
she's grabbing at her head, like, she's not like, "Ooh, ow." She'll just, like, kinda be like, "Oh,
yeah,
what's
so
that
there's a
about?"
reason why they're doing all this. So I think there
Yeah.
is something to that. Maybe her body just can't take it anymore. And
Mhm.
once
I
the
mean, she was thrown into, like, a steel pipe, like, maybe her body's just kind of frozen in that moment until they do the switch again, like, so
yeah,
as
because
soon
maybe
as it
her
would
spirit
happen, she
being
just
yeah, because her spirit being in there, she's just like you said, like it's like a husk, and she's just taking
Mhm.
over at a time, but it's not actually her body. So she doesn't. It's very different than say Maddie in there. So I think you're right. I think something bad's gonna happen. I don't think you.
Mhm.
I don't think you can take out Peyton List though in the show. Like I feel like she is a big draw to the
No.
narrative and to the show. So I don't think they would kill her off. I think the coma thing is smart. Like you don't take her out completely of the show, but you basically just have to focus on other characters while she's in the hospital. Because the transfer worked, but the downside is she's stuck, and maybe
Yeah.
she
And now
flatlines
no
at
one can
points.
talk to her or something, yeah, like
Yeah, and she flatlines at the hospital, and then she has spurts of time where she can see her dad,
mhm, mhm.
and then
I
yeah,
think
so
that's gotta be the running, like, that I think is the most likely to happen, to be honest. And also, I think Peyton is either, like, a producer or a writer or something, like, I'm pretty sure she's a producer as well, so, like, I don't think they can write her out.
yeah, she is a producer. Yeah,
Yeah. Like, I don't think we could do that.
um,
So, I'm just scared for Maddie mostly, like, this girl, dude.
I mean, that's the big thing. Let's see. The same production company. Well, yeah. So the same production company that's working on this show has other shows they work on that is like for Paramount and Netflix. So they're pretty
Mm,
much in the awareness of. Okay, that's interesting. Oh, they've worked on like Drama Club, Pin 15, a Hulu show.
mm.
Oh, but yeah, like yeah. So she's. I mean, it's smart for her to be a producer on the show. I think it's
Yeah.
smart because now like her name's connected to it in that sense. I don't know what that means. Like, what does she do for the show besides I don't know. Maybe the whole idea of the show got pitched and she was brought on board to basically sell the show. Maybe
Mm,
that's what it was. I
maybe.
mean,
Yeah, I don't know, and you know what? It works backwards too, because I watched this first, and I was looking at an interview, and it said, "Cobra Kai's list," and I went, "Cobra Kai's list? Huh?" And that's how I actually ended up watching Cobra Kai, was
oh
because of
really?
this. I didn't even know she was in it at all, like, I kinda knew
Yeah.
of it, But I was like, you're telling me Peyton List is gonna go beat people up and be really cool? Like, where is that at? And I just binged like all of her scenes. I have like 3 episodes left of the finale, or 2 episodes left of the finale, because I can't
the
get
final
myself to
episodes?
watch it. Yeah, I like
You
can't
have
get
to.
myself to watch
You
them.
have to.
Oh,
They're
that
so
was
good.
the cliffhanger with what's his face getting don't that was crazy. But yeah, so she's how I ended up actually watching Cobra Kai. So yeah, I'm sure it does work, that way too. But the more her name's on it, I guess the better. So
It's funny. I even threw out, because obviously a couple years ago there was all the stuff about the DCU and James Gunn, what's going to do with the new DC universe. I was throwing out, before they announced Millie Alcock Supergirl, Peyton List should be Supergirl. I threw it. I was like,
really,
why not? I love her.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, let's do it.
She's really good, and I've not been a fan, but like I've known her for a very long time, because she was on Jessie on Disney Channel, and I knew like that was forever. That was her big thing. She was on Jessie with Debbie Ryan and Cameron Boyce from Descendants. It was a whole thing. Jessie, wow. And then a spinoff called Bunked, which she was on for another few seasons. Like, she was a Disney girly for like a hot minute, which makes it even more impressive.
Okay.
That
Bunked.
have you seen that video of that? I don't know if you know her, Sky Jackson. She was also in Jessie with Peyton List. And there's just this thing where she's auditioning for something, and it's just like so poor, so Disney Channel. Like, it's supposed to be a drama, and you could just tell like that's a Disney kid acting. Like, it's so interesting, because I feel like you're either totally her or totally the opposite. Like Peyton, sometimes like you would never even know. Like, I was like, she is playing a dark character? Like, what do you mean? Because her on Jessie and Bunked, like, she was this like girly girl, like glamour Barbie cutie, whatever. Like, and then I found out she's gonna be cool, and I'm like, oh my gosh, she's actually really awesome. And like in real life, she's like super chill and just like awesome. And I was like, dang, I love that.
Did you know that? You know where her first credit is?
What is her first credit? I don't know.
It's a deleted scene. She was a little girl playing on streets. Okay. She was in a little known movie called Spider-Man 2.
No,
back in 2004.
Way.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
That's so cool. Oh my gosh. Where's the scene? I need to see it.
I doubt I can find. I'll type in Spider-Man.
That'd be really cool. I do know she does have a twin, which is cool, and they were on Bunked together for like a second, and that was really weird, because who knows, she has a twin.
I didn't know that.
But yeah, she does have a twin. And Jacob Bertrand, they met on a Disney movie that they were both in together called The Swap, where it was a body swap thing, and they played each other for the whole movie. So before Cobra Kai, that's what they were in. That's how they know each other. I know my Disney stuff. I know too much about that. Did you find it? No way. Oh, stop. Oh, this must be the twin, maybe. Oh my gosh. Nope.
That is crazy.
That's awesome. I would never know that's her. Oh my gosh. That's so cute.
Well, it's funny, like on her Wikipedia page, that she has blonde hair in a shot they have. It says list in 23. That is blonde. Let me show this photo. Blonde.
Oh, and platinum, or
that's
what?
Blonde.
Let me see.
Oh,
wow, yeah. That's
that is wow.
That's what she looked like. That's what she looked like on like Disney Channel. So then I'm like seeing this picture like of School Spirits on Paramount. I'm like, her face kind of looks like Peyton List. Haha. Then I clicked it and I was like, oh.
Oh, it is.
That's really Peyton List. But yeah. It's like, oh my gosh, I had no idea. Like, I didn't know she was like so cool. And she was playing all these cool characters. Like, I just thought she was little like, yay, Barbie and glitter, pink. Like, oh my god.
I'm glad that she stepped outside of that. I'll at least say that. I'm glad that she stepped outside of that.
Yeah. I've seen like interviews with, I mean, for the whole Cobra Kai cast seems all, and School Spirits, they seem really cool, both of them. But like Yeah, she just seems like really chill, which I wasn't. I just knew her as like Disney girl. So when I saw her, I was like, dang, like you're
Look at
awesome.
this.
Whoa.
That's from a movie she was in last year called The Inheritance. Apparently
Oh
didn't
my
get good
gosh.
reviews, but
Hmm.
I was like, all right.
Dang.
I mean,
You should see if you can find the swap on there with Jacob Bertrand.
with her,
Yeah.
the swap Peyton List. Let's see. The swap. What the heck? Oh, okay. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I found
Mm-hmm.
an image.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That is
And they just
weird.
played each other. They did a body swap movie, and it was okay.
I
It's
mean,
a Disney Channel movie, so whatever. But
are they still dating? I
yeah.
don't know.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
As far
Well,
as I know, yeah.
I didn't know. I was wondering because like it's kind of weird how they've known each other for a long time.
Mhm. Yeah, I'm pretty positive they're still dating. And the other two, what the heck, Mary Mouser and what's his face? The other guy. Not
Yeah.
Sholo, the other guy.
Yeah. Robbie.
Engaged?
Yeah.
Yeah, like, oh man, I had absolutely no idea about that, but that was really
Yeah.
cute.
Tanner
But
Buchanan. Yep.
yeah,
Yeah.
Tanner, yeah. So I'm pretty sure because I know Sholo and Jacob, I think they have a podcast together.
Yes.
And I'm pretty sure like a recent episode, recent-ish, Peyton was on and they were talking about like moving to New York together and like they had this whole parade and they put their dog in the parade and so I'm pretty sure they're still
Aw.
together.
Oh, that's
But
cute.
it's really cute. Yeah. Anyway, so how do we get Jacob on School Spirits? Next question.
That'd be the
But
crazy thing. Like they find a way to do like they find a way to like bring like other spirits or something, and it's just Cobra
yeah.
Kai characters, and it's just those actors like
The crossover nobody knew they needed. That'd be really cool. Or even just like throwing him in a scene, like just give him a one-liner and have him walk away. Like, yeah,
yeah.
I'm down for that. That'd be cool. I do want to talk about another theory
Okay.
that I did see mentioned. So the fire that ended up killing Mr. Martin and Janet, as
Yes.
far as we know.
Well.
Theory: Mr. Martin is the one that started the fire, not Janet by accident. And he either blamed Janet for it or was it a setup? Did he swap some chemical or something? And that because there also has been a seed planted where we had that old guy talking about Janet and he said,
Yes.
"Oh, she would never mess up an experiment. They did everything like perfectly every time." So that could be a possible thing. Did Janet even die in the fire? Because on her tombstone, the date did not match up to what was said in like the newspaper. What
Oh.
really happened? Did she run away? Did he cover up something? Did Mr. Martin possess other people like Mr. Manfredo? This one goes kind of
Ooh.
crazy.
Holy
People are
shit.
saying maybe Mr. Martin caused all of their deaths, which would be
Okay. That would be the best way to explain because it just doesn't make sense to me why Rhonda would die by that counselor. Like illogically, it's just like it's just so random, right? So if it's him, interesting. Because he
yeah, people
possesses
think yeah. Yeah. So people think maybe he possessed Manfredo to get Janet a body so that she could go to Stanford in
Mm,
Rhonda's place. It's just
but
such
Janet's still
a
here.
nightmare.
But that's the thing, Janet's still here.
Yeah, so maybe it didn't work or something, but like maybe that was his plan
So
because they mess up a lot and Janet's like, we got to stop this. And he just pushes. He pushes really hard, as we saw with her
that'd be
getting
the
forced
biggest
into the
reveal
car.
that he was killing other students throughout time, trying to help her get out, and it just never worked. Like they couldn't
Mhm.
figure out the right form, but she didn't know about it.
Yeah.
Mm.
Maybe. Mhm. Mhm. Yeah,
Because
because there's
as we
already stuff
know,
that he's done that she doesn't agree with.
because
That
he would jump around to different scars, like he was moving in and out of stuff.
yeah.
So, mm,
Mhm. Mhm. This is that'd be a nightmare. That would be so ugh,
but it would be
just
good.
heavy. Oh, it would be great to watch. It would be
Yeah.
so intense. But oh my gosh, it'd just be like my stomach would just like drop pretty much. But that's a theory that's been going around a lot too. And I saw one today actually, not related really to that, but more about Maddie getting back to her body. Somebody said, "What if Simon is her key, but like her reverse key to try and
Yeah.
to get back into her body?" That would be really, I would love that. That'd be really sweet. And like their connection is something on the next level. So
Yeah.
if somebody's gonna be it, I think it could
It
be
would make
him.
sense to be him over, like, Xavier or something. It would make so much more
Yeah,
sense
yeah.
for him, since he's the one who can actually see her
Mhm.
right now. So, okay.
Mhm. Maybe, but that Mr. Martin thing, and he's on the run. Poor Mr. Anderson. Is he just gonna be stuck here playing golf? I don't know,
Yeah, I
dude.
love the fact that he was just, like, hitting golf balls when they're just having their reunion in that
Yeah.
library. He's just hitting golf balls, like, "Whatever."
But what else, man? Like, you're just trapped in the school now. Do you have anything like some I know I'm sure for like like constraints and whatever, like he wasn't even in the last episode. But like,
Mhm.
what about my man's thoughts? He can't be happy to be here, like
No, I mean, at this point, I think he's just still trying to grasp and understand what the hell's going on. I
I
mean,
guess so, yeah.
as we've seen, some of these kids have been here for 20, 30, 40, even longer plus years. He's just been there for a couple days.
This is true, yeah.
So, and also too, him being a part of the whole Janet discussion sit down would have made no logical sense in terms of story because he has no connection to any of these other characters.
That's true,
So
yeah.
he'd be like, "Wait, what?" Like his only connection is Janet, or not Janet, but Maddie. But it just wouldn't make like sense for him to hear all this stuff about Janet because he has no idea what all this research and stuff and what they've been doing. He would be like
Mhm.
kind of sitting in the corner going, "Let me write this down because I have no idea what the hell you guys
Yeah.
are talking about. Like what? Like
This is yeah,
yeah."
it's
He'd basically
true.
be like the question asker. Excuse me, hello, excuse me.
Mm.
Um, what do
Do
you
a
mean by you?
recap or like
Yeah, what do you mean you kidnapped Janet Maddie? What do you mean by
yeah.
that? There's like a lot of
Yeah,
layers.
I get that. Yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah. So that makes sense. I do see here Cody. That is an interesting
oh,
theory too. He might wanna start another fire. That is a horrifying thought, to be
for
honest.
for what exactly? Like, because
Is he
if he
gonna
because I
like
think he did start the original fire. I think that's
Mhm.
makes
I
sense.
think so too.
Yeah.
I don't know why, I don't know for what reason, either to just, like, keep Janet there, keep I don't know. Like, what reason would you have to I don't know. I don't know his mind because he's a wacky dude, okay? I don't know.
Yeah, because there was a
But
reason why he like kept secrets and stuff. He's not
yeah.
really forthcoming with who he is,
Mhm,
really.
mhm, and he seems a little like Janet, she was passionate about science and whatever, but, like, there comes a point, and he doesn't have that point. He will do anything. Like,
Yeah.
he's very extreme.
Because he kept forcing
So
her to go into the scar. He doesn't
over and
care.
over.
Yeah, he just wants answers. He wants because obviously he's trying to figure all this stuff out, but I think there's more that he knows than he's letting on because they didn't even know about the keys. They didn't know about any of this stuff.
Yeah.
Only Janet knew, and of course she
Mhm.
was trying to get away from all this.
Yeah.
So
Ugh, that's hard, yeah, and, like, that whole time in season 1, he knew that her body was out there, and he's just sitting like, "Man, I'm so sorry to hear about that, Maddie, like, that sucks, dude." Like, that's just
yeah, like he
awful,
lied about everything. Yeah.
yeah, mhm. Ugh, and this was, like, Yeah, I felt for Wally in that scene where he was like, he was my Mr. Anderson. Like, that was my mentor, my guy. And he's just a completely different person. Like, just an awful dude, you know? Just a sucky guy. But I don't think we've seen the end of him for sure. Like, I think there's gotta be some way he's roped back. I think they're gonna like threaten Janet's life, or they're gonna pretend to threaten it or something, because he cares about her too much. Like,
which is creepy. Yeah.
yes, oh for sure, yeah. But I think maybe if they try and like, you know, bait him, be like, we're gonna kill Janet for real, and you're never gonna see her again. Then I think maybe he'll
Yeah,
try and
because
come back.
he was willing to like kidnap Maddie Janet and like let's run away together.
Man,
It's like
yeah. Yeah.
because I think it's interesting that they could push the envelope on certain aspects of the show, but it's clear as day that he has feelings for a girl. Obviously, they're both dead; they're spirits. But when before they died, he had feelings for a student, and they're not willing to push it that far. Like they're making it obvious without really going too detailish. Because you don't just drive a student home. You don't do that. It's like,
spending
so
all this extra time together by themselves, like
yeah.
that's
It's so I get the point of like her father and everything being like really restrictive and everything, but yeah, I think he's gonna basically feel like I have to come back. Like something's gonna force him to turn around. Like he's gonna be driving and realize whether it's a phone call like, oh, we're gonna kill Maddie or kill Janet, or he just keeps thinking, I can't leave without her though. I mean, and he's
leave
gonna
her
come back.
stuck there, trapped again. I have to free her. That's what my whole life has been. My past 50 years, I've been trying to free Janet. I
Yeah,
don't know
because
what's in his head.
what if they say to her, like, what if they call and tell him, look, we're gonna put Maddie back in her body. That means Janet's gonna be all alone in the school. She's not gonna be able to go to anybody. She's not gonna be able to possess somebody else. Like, what if they tell him we're gonna switch bodies and we're gonna help Janet cross over? Then he has to come back.
And she'll
He's
be
like,
happy, and you'll be stuck by yourself. The end. Yeah.
mm-hmm. But then that would imply good ending because we're gonna stop the
That's
bad
true.
guy.
But maybe he'd set the fire there. I don't know. Maybe
Ooh.
I don't know. I'm really leaning towards the switch doesn't work, ends up in the hospital or
Or
something.
it does work, but she's in the hospital, like, she's now
And
stuck
you
in
know
that coma.
what? Yeah. And you know
Yeah.
what? It maybe since Xavier was able to see the ghosts in the hospital, maybe he'd be the one instead of Simon. Like, if she's stuck in the coma, Simon's not in the school anymore. He can't, or she's not in the school anymore, so Simon doesn't have that. Maybe Xavier will get little flashes. Or I don't know. Or maybe
Mm.
one of them, maybe Xavier or whatever, in a desperation attempt, will
Mhm.
like. I was gonna say, in Teen Wolf, and you didn't watch Teen Wolf. That sucks for me. But there's a thing in Teen Wolf where they basically like ice bath to try and like die, like just kind of
Mhm.
slow their heart rate so bad that like they kind of die, but they don't.
Mhm.
Like maybe they just try and pull something and like I listen. I don't know, man. I don't know. But I do have to say also, I forgot when we were talking about this before. I did just want to mention it. I'm pretty positive that in the fires, or I think it was in the fires or just in general from
Mhm.
season 1, school was destroyed. They had to rebuild this entire set, which is
Mm.
crazy. I would have
Yeah.
never known that. But just
Oh.
anyway, props to them because I
Mhm.
had no idea till I read that. Because that's hard, man. That was a real school apparently, but not
That's
anymore.
crazy. Wow.
Yeah. So props to them. Props to the show, dude. The show's really cool, really fun, and I hope enough people. I'm very glad that they put it on Netflix for it to get that second wind,
Mhm.
because I am a little bit more confident now that there's going to be a season 3. I would really like to think so.
Well, I was reading a report earlier that say that the first episode of season 2 comparatively to season 1's first episode had like a hundred and something plus percent increase.
Oh,
So
good.
there was like 1.7 million more people saw the season 2 premiere versus the season 1 like within like a 7-day window when they first aired those
Awesome.
episodes. So that's good.
That is really
So
good.
and I do think the Netflix deal does help, I think, because
Mhm.
that's what helped, I think, fund the Arrowverse shows for a little bit longer, I
Yeah.
think,
Oh, for sure.
because
Oh my
Netflix was paying a lot
gosh.
of money, and most of that money, they even though they had like the CW deal, like a big chunk of that money, the reason why they spent it is to get Arrow, Flash, to get those shows on there streaming.
Oh yeah.
So
People love
that
to
helped.
binge.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I get that sentiment, like, okay, well, I'm gonna binge the show, da, da, da. Because I think was it Netflix? Or was it no, it was Netflix. My wife and I, we binged the Nancy Drew show from CW, 4
Oh
seasons.
yeah.
Yeah, so
Oh.
that was a show, like, we completely missed out on, and, we
Mhm.
finished it 2024, so last year. But, yeah, I mean, you never know, but I do think
Mhm.
that deal does help the show, and I think they even announced the 2 seasons of that Halo Paramount show is going to Netflix
Oh.
because of they canceled the
Oh,
show.
no way.
So, they're moving those 2 seasons over to Netflix, which I feel like it's gonna I don't know if it means, "Oh, you're gonna get a season 3," but it's just gonna help more people see that show.
Get people some more money or something. At least get the actors, let them get some royalties or something. I don't know.
100%.
Whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do like this model at least that some things are on like multiple platforms now because not everybody has everything. We can't afford everything. There's a million
Yeah.
different options for things. So also, I think yeah, School Spirits is on Amazon Prime too, Prime Video,
Oh,
which
yeah,
I
that's
yeah,
good because a
why
lot of people
not?
have that as well. So,
Yeah, why not?
yeah.
Throw it out there. Get everybody's eyes on it as much as possible. 'Cause
Mhm.
these things are crazy now. It's gonna turn into cable all over again. It's just gonna be a nightmare. Like, there's gonna be 80
Yeah.
different streaming services. Everybody's gonna cost 19.99, and it's ugh. Like,
That's
I'm
why I
sick
think
of it
the
now.
bundle they have, because like, we're paying $30 a month for Max, Hulu, and Disney Plus, no ads for any of it. Um,
Wow. That's really
yeah,
good,
30
actually.
thirty
Dang.
bucks. I think there's another one, but I think it's only through cable you can get these
Mhm.
3, which is so weird. Like, you have to, or at least you have to
Yeah.
have a certain internet provider in order to get it. But I think it's
Mhm.
like Apple, Netflix, and something else. But
Mm. That's the one I don't have. I can't do Apple TV. Like, I cannot.
yeah,
Stop.
the only
Stop.
way I have it now, or not have it, but like have, I guess, a version like screeners, is because I
Yeah.
reached out for one movie and like, hey, we're gonna create an account for you. I'm like, and I go on there and they have like the
Yeah.
first 2 seasons of Jason Momoa's show C on there and other stuff. I'm like,
Huh.
okay, I guess I could watch this stuff, but
Yeah.
like, I don't have the time. Like, the fact that I'm watching School Spirits and other stuff on top of everything else I'm doing is just lucky because,
Yeah.
like, I just want to relax. I work a
Mhm.
full-time job. I'm tired. I'm tired right
Yeah,
now.
exactly, yeah.
Uh,
I get home and I go to bed. Like,
yeah,
that's
yeah,
it,
yeah,
man. It sucks. That's adulting, we're adulting, but, oh gosh, yeah, I know,
yeah,
like, literally School Spirits, when it drops, like, midnight somewhere between midnight and, like, 3 AM, I think,
yeah.
on Paramount.
Thursday.
I wake up, like, an hour and a half early, and I just watch it before work again, and I'm thinking about
Yep.
it all day, but, oh
We
gosh.
always watch it the night of when it drops. So like, we'll watch it that Thursday night when it comes out. So, and it's good because I don't see spoilers because obviously not my
Mhm.
people who I follow on Twitter talk about it, but like, it gives us time to prepare. Like, okay, well, we're gonna go home and we're gonna eat whatever, and then we're gonna watch this. Like, when we
Yeah.
know. And also Reacher season 3 is airing at the same time too. But
Oh.
we're gonna get this done
Oh.
first because that's the finale. So we gotta
Mhm.
watch this first. So
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah. I need some
I'm
new
excited.
shows, man. I'm just so ugh, I'm so bored. Oh my gosh.
What kind of genres are you into? Like
I like
genres of TV?
sci-fi fantasy is my favorite.
Mm,
My poor superheroes are really just down really down right now.
mm,
But I did see the leaks. the leaks, supposedly. So those did excite me, I have to say. But I will say you got me remembering those CW shows that every week I would say that looks pretty good in the trailer, and then I'd never watch them. Kung Fu, that looked kind of interesting to me.
I watched like the first 2 or 3 episodes, didn't continue,
Not
but
into it.
it's pretty decent. I just didn't
Mm.
timing. It just couldn't because I think I started it when I was on like a trip on a plane or something or a road trip. So it was like one of those like, oh, okay, I'll start it. And whenever I do that, I never continue it. Like
Yeah.
She-Ra, that Netflix like
Oh
animated
yeah.
season. I watched the first 2 episodes. I don't remember shit. I watched it on a plane ride years ago, and I never continue it. Same thing with Kung Fu. I just
Yeah.
started it,
That's what
didn't
happened with
continue.
Warrior Nun for me. I watched the first episode. I was like, okay, yeah. That was like a
Same.
year and a half ago. What happened?
Me and Shelby watched the first 3 episodes of Warrior Nun, and the ending of episode 3, I think it's like a cliffhanger kinda like the we didn't
Man.
continue. It wasn't
Wow,
like
you're like,
intentional.
that was crazy. Never
We
watched it.
just didn't continue. I will say though, Nancy Drew, if you've not seen it from CW, that's a good
Yeah.
watch for
Yeah?
sure.
Okay.
There's overarching narratives. There's also like one-off stories, kind of like Scooby-Doo. So I recommend
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Okay.
Um, I think
I
Kung Fu is a
need
good
I
one.
need
So
cool girls being cool. That's my main
cool girls.
thing. I
Yeah,
need somebody to be
Nancy.
cool.
Yeah, Nancy Drew. Like I feel like that's. I mean, you got a couple of cool guys. Like it's a crew, but
Yeah,
Nancy's
yeah.
great. Nancy is really good, and there's other great supporting characters, and there's a lot of like big twists and reveals and stuff. And there's a
Mhm.
pretty big reveal about her as a character too, that I
Oh,
thought was interesting that they dive into later on. So it's worth the 4-season run. Like it's pretty
okay.
good. Which
Okay.
is surprising because I remember seeing trailers for it back during season 1. I just never really got around to watching it. But
Yeah.
we started watching, like, oh, let's just check it out. And like, okay, all right.
Hmm.
So yeah, recommend that.
Okay. I could
I'm
get
trying to
into that.
think what
I'm just
else.
rewatching the same like 10 things. It's the same like episodes because I don't normally ever rewatch a full show. Like the only show I've ever done that for, like episode 1 all the way through, was Teen Wolf. And I'm
Mm,
telling you, I say this every time. Teen Wolf is a show where everybody, I'm like, you gotta watch Teen Wolf. Everyone's like, Teen Wolf, that sounds stupid as heck, dude. That sounds so cheesy and lame. And it is. Season 1 is so cheesy, but it's
mm,
amazing. But by the like, oh my gosh, that's one of the best shows I've ever seen. Season 3 is one of the best seasons of television I have ever seen in my life. Truly. And I have rewatched that show 5 times. And I don't
mm.
watch shows. I do not rewatch. I rewatch scenes. I'll go back. I'll be like, I really liked that moment, so I'll watch that. But like full episodes, I never. I've watched that show 5 times. Like I need another Teen Wolf.
You say you like sci-fi. You can
I
think
do.
about this. Have you seen the
Okay.
Orville?
I have not. I've heard of it, but I have not
Okay.
seen it.
Okay, the first 2 seasons are more on the sci-fi funny side because it's the creator of Family Guy, Seth MacFarlane, who's the
Oh,
lead
no
and
way.
running it.
Okay.
However, when you get to season 3, because season 2 starts to add in more of the drama and layers, season 3, oh my god, it is so. It's like each
Mhm.
episode is like a movie.
Yeah.
It's so good. I
I was like
recommend the
Teen Wolf,
Orville.
yeah, season
Yeah,
3.
I
Okay.
recommend the Orville. I literally typed in sci-fi, and now I'm on the list of 100 sci-fi TV shows. Let's see, because
Oh
I
my
completely
gosh.
forgot. Terra Nova's another one because that's
Oh my
about like
gosh, I remember when that aired. Dang, I didn't
yeah,
watch it, but I remember
I
it being
watched
a
like the first
thing.
couple episodes. Yeah, the whole idea of like a family being thrown back in time,
That's
to
cool.
the dress to like the dinosaur era from the future. That's crazy.
That's cool. Yeah, that is cool.
Um,
I miss those shows. I miss, like I used to watch, like, Being Human. I don't know if you ever saw that. I really liked that
oh,
show.
being
Um,
human. Yeah.
that was fun, and I never finished it actually, which I do this thing, and I hate that I do this, but I'll, like, binge a show, and then I'll get to the last episode, and I'm like, "I can't watch it because then it's over, and
Mm-hmm.
then there's nothing else, so I just put it off." So like that's what I'm doing with Cobra Kai right now. I did that with
You gotta finish it.
Winx, that Winx show. I literally did not watch it for like a year. This one episode, that's it, the end, and that's it. And I just wouldn't do it for like a year. But yeah, I do need to finish Cobra Kai because I'm sure I will get spoiled on it.
I'm surprised you haven't yet. You gotta watch it.
Yeah.
You got to.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Falling Skies is a show that was on Sci-Fi for 5 seasons. That's pretty solid.
5 seasons. I've never even heard
Yep.
of that one. Dang.
Yeah, Falling Skies. It's an alien invasion show. It's actually surprising. I was like surprised at how good it was because budget-wise, you would think, oh, it's sci-fi.
Yeah.
It's an alien invasion. Like how like I think they did a pretty decent job with that.
Okay.
Do you like okay, so obviously the 100, did you see the 100?
I did. I didn't finish it because it did kind of fall off a cliff, but I did like the 100.
Yeah. That's
I did.
That's fair. That's fair. So superhero stuff. Have you seen My Adventures with Superman, the animated show?
I have not.
Okay. That is definitely worth the watch if you like Superman or if you just want to get that DC fix because it reminds me of, and this I guess not a great comparison because obviously it's 2 different characters, but it reminds me of an animated version of The Flash when it was good.
Okay.
With its characters because Clark is so funny and goofy or he's silly, you know, kind of like Barry. Like he's just kind of yeah, I feel like that would be good. And the show just gets like better and better as it goes.
You know what? I was so desperate. I was gonna watch Gotham Knights at a point. I thought about it and I didn't do it, but I was close, I have to say.
Okay, I have like 3 episodes left. I haven't got back to it in over a year. It's better than the marketing. Now that's not saying much because the marketing was horrible. And the show isn't great, but I will say at least it's tolerable.
Okay.
But number 1, the show should never exist in the first place. But number 2, at least they were trying to do something. But it just doesn't get to that. It doesn't get to its potential that it could be. But it's the weight kind of falls out because this show shouldn't be a thing because it's just ridiculous. Like this whole idea of like Bruce Wayne can just magically be like slowly poisoned. I don't give a fuck. It's a spoiler. He's slowly poisoned, then they kill him.
What?
Yeah, like that. Like they like the Court of Owls find a way to slowly poison him, and he just doesn't figure it out, and then he gets pushed off or something, and he dies. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's a whole it's a stupid thing. But I would say,
you know what, I've heard worse from a CW show. I really have.
Yeah, but I will say if you are desperate, it's not as bad as the trailers were implying. Like it's not good, but it's not terrible. Like I'll say this, there has been worse Supergirl episodes than that show.
Okay.
And I
watched all of Supergirl.
Yeah. And so you would think Gotham Knights bottom of the barrel. Nothing like anything bad on these other shows is not as worse. No. There's been some worse stuff in this show, like not the entirety, but at least
we had the Bee Lady. If I just sit through the Bee Lady on Arrow season 4, I feel like that's promising. Yeah. Oh my gosh! I just that's what I'm saying. I was so desperate. I went and I was looking through Arrow. I was looking for Black Canary stuff, and there's not a lot of it. It sucks
no, there's
for
not.
me.
No.
But I did see that moment where like they bring Curtis down into the Arrow cave, and oh god, the Bee Lady, whatever. Oh, Oliver swallowed a bee or something, and now we have to explode. Like, I just that show was just oh, you can't even make it up. You can't.
Because Damien Dark was the villain.
And you know what? In Legends, he ended up being awesome. Like Legends turned everybody around. All these people you did not care at all about, those are your children now. Like, man, Legends, so bummed that you can't get past Bebo because it was so good. It was so good.
The Flash You finished The Flash, right? You finished
I
that
did
show?
not. Actually, I fell off that after, like, season 5, maybe? Like,
Fair.
I didn't watch for a minute.
There's an episode in season 9, and I think it's the worst thing I think I've seen from any
Oh
of the
god.
CW stuff
Worse than
because
the Bee Lady?
yes,
'Cause that's
because season 9 is the final season. We have a
okay.
limited amount of episodes. We do not have more coming. They
Mhm.
decided to spend an episode 6 of the show with Lady Luck, the girl that basically bad luck happens all around her, but she's completely fine. They waste an episode with her, and you don't know this character that much, so it's fine. But if you would have kept watching the show, Cecile and Allegra, these horrible side characters they had to replace because other actors were leaving the show.
Yeah,
They had to
yeah.
bring these. Oh my god. We're talking abysmal. We're talking just like
Oh.
hair pulling out. It is like you wasted a fucking episode. It's budget,
Mhm.
but my god.
Yeah.
They could have done
Yeah.
anything else. We could have literally sat for 45 minutes and listened to Joe give pep talk advice for the entire episode. I would have
I'm
preferred
sure it would
that
have been
over
better.
because they explained that she died,
Oh.
but then Crisis saved her.
Oh,
We didn't need to
okay.
know that. I don't care that I don't
Yeah.
give a shit that Crisis
Word.
fixed it. I just don't give it.
Yeah. You know what? I
Ugh.
do need to at least watch, Nicole Maines' episode, the Dreamer episode.
Oh,
I
yeah, I
still
think
haven't
season
watched
8.
it, and I love
Yeah,
her.
yeah, I would say, yeah, that's decent. Some people are I guess, confused because there are certain things they do in that episode that kind of raise more questions about
Mm,
Dreamer,
mhm.
but I think it's worth the watch. Yeah, you might as well I mean, I don't think you don't have to watch anything to kind of get that,
At
like, in
that
terms of, like,
point, I
Flash.
don't care. I'm like, "I'm just
That's
here for my
fine.
girl." Like, I don't know what's going
That's
on, but
fine. That's
like,
fine. Yeah, but
I don't care.
I think that it's worth the watch for sure if you like that character, so, yeah.
Mhm.
And it is
Okay.
kind of random, though, but they like, who gives a shit? Like, we don't have to give an actual explanation. Just have Nicole Maines show up, like,
Yes. She
alright.
wants to be there, so figure it out.
Yeah,
That's
it's like
it, basically.
it was a way because those other shows were going away and Flash was still holding on. So, like,
Yeah.
let's just find a way to make them, like, bring them in somehow. And that was the
Mhm.
whole cry about have the Flash's final season have the Legends cast because their show got canceled. No,
I don't want that. No
because
offense, I didn't
they
want the Flash writers touching the show.
not even it's not even that. It's just like they decided to end on a cliffhanger and then the show didn't come back. Like that's on them.
Yeah,
And they don't
yeah.
have the budget to bring all these actors in. It's like it just
Mhm.
doesn't gonna work.
No, it'd be
It's
a
like
disaster, and you need to wrap the Flash up. What are you gonna do with the Legends now? Like,
yeah, like it's yeah,
no.
you can't do like, oh, everybody because you couldn't bring in Katie Lotz as Sarah and go, don't worry about it, guys. They somehow broke out of prison and they're good, and I'm here to help. It's like, no, like no, no,
Yeah.
no, no. It's
Yeah.
whatever.
That really
Hmm.
annoyed me that they ended it on the cliffhanger and they didn't. No, like, I think with Stargirl, which I'm doing the same thing like, I still have not finished it because I
Mhm.
don't want it to end. But I'm actually, waiting for Nathan because he's watching it with me, so
Mm,
we're at the beginning of season 3, so we're watching it together. So
okay.
waiting for that. Because I did finally get through all of the movies in the MCU that I wanted to watch. Finish Guardians, which was my main thing because I really liked
Oh, there you
that.
go. Okay.
Um, so we were kind of trading back and forth what we were watching. Anyway, but with Stargirl, I'm pretty sure I heard that they had 2 different endings, one for if they didn't get picked up and one if they did. I'm pretty sure I heard that. I think
Oh,
Legends, they did not know, and they just said, "We're gonna do it so we could make them give us a new season." And it's like, "No,
yeah.
you're just stupid." Like, what's wrong
Yeah,
with
it's funny
you?
because the show was always on the bubble from what Candigraphs has stated for years. Like that show was always on the bubble when it came to
Yeah.
renewing. And the fact that they really chanced it, because I think every season before that season finale ended, like they found a way to end with kind of setting up potentially the next season, but there was no
Mm.
cliffhanger per se. So I think I
Mhm.
remember like the Constantine cliffhanger at the end of I think season 3 set up season 4, I think it was. But like, yeah, like he's implying what's going to happen next season, but it's not like, oh,
Mm.
it's like a big what the hell. Like it's just, oh,
Yeah.
implying this is where we're heading. Well,
This was a challenge. They challenged them and they didn't bite.
Yeah,
So.
they were basically playing chicken and they lost. Like,
Mhm.
oh, you're gonna give us no. And I think, yeah, look, I've always said that I can't stand that show, but they should have at least found a way to conclude it,
Mhm.
since they did end on a cliffhanger. But I understand budget, money wise, like it just doesn't make sense financially. Plus, CW is going through the whole next star buyout, so like
Yeah.
we're lucky
I
we got Superman and
really
Lois. So
meh.
yeah,
That's just a show I personally won't touch no matter how good people say it is,
why?
unless
I need to know.
'cause of I think they did Supergirl really dirty in that show, and I don't appreciate
I,
what was
I
happening
agree.
backstage with it. I don't like it how
I
multiple times there were little bits of, like, I remember one time this was after multiple, like, similar things happening where there was supposed to be, like, a picture of Kara somewhere, and they were
in
like,
the
"Take that
pilot.
out."
Yep, in the
Like,
pilot. Hmm.
give me a break. They're just, like, embarrassed to be, like, even thought of coming from Supergirl, and I just hate that. So, out of respect for my Supergirl, I won't do it unless Melissa literally shows up in an episode. I'm not watching it. I
The
just can't
show's
do it.
done though. The show's done.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah,
So, mm-mm. Oh, did
I
it, like
understand.
the finale aired?
Months ago.
Oh, I
Mhm.
didn't know. Oh,
Yep.
wow. Okay.
I would.
Dang.
I understand, and I 100% agree because I complained about it. I think it's stupid. However, I would say story wise, what they did with that show, it's leagues and bounds better than most of the Arrowverse. Not
Oh, I'm
because of
sure.
them excluding the Arrowverse, it's because visually and story wise, they made a lot of smart decisions because they didn't
Mm.
have a Mark Guggenheim who was
Oh,
like fucking everything up every which way and reading Tumblr. But it's like, okay, I think it's worth it, but I understand your like point of like, because they screwed like Supergirl. Yeah, but if you're willing to at least give it a shot, because that the pilot episode, it gets you in, and I feel like that will
mm,
probably hook you. But I understand your point, like, well, because they make the decision, the season 2 finale, they actually officially make it known this is not the same Earth, and
yeah.
it's bold choice. It's not smart, but they also do storylines that would contradict stuff they do on the Arrowverse. Like they're like when they bring forth another Earth that's involved, it's a weird thing in season 2, which is like the weakest season.
Mm.
Um, it would literally contradict the Flash. It would contradict the other shows that had continuity with what we
Yeah, like,
thought at
they
the
had
time.
Lex in it, didn't they?
Yeah,
They
a
had, like, a
different
new
guy. Yeah.
Lex? Yeah.
So,
Mhm,
yeah, but I get your point. But yeah, I mean, I would recommend it if you can get past that because it's worth the
mhm,
watch, but it is frustrating that there was no connection. But I do think if it was connected, this would be a different Clark. This would be like these would be a different set of characters. Like they they're playing their own versions. They're not really playing the Arrowverse versions. They kind of are, but not really. It's kind of
mhm.
hard because you go from the guy who was as appearing in kind of cameos and small appearances to now leading a show. It's very
Yeah.
different. Like you're seeing a lot more of him. So
Mhm.
yeah,
I do love
yeah,
Tyler Hoechlin, I have to say.
yeah, he's
He's
great.
Mr. Teen Wolf guy, so
If that's your pull, go for it because he is amazing in this show.
I love
He's
Tyler
amazing,
Hoechlin.
and Bitsy Toldick as Lois is fantastic. So
Yeah.
if that's your way in, let it because they are amazing in the show
Mm,
throughout the entire run.
mm.
So and it's
And let
four
me say,
seasons.
if you love Tyler Hoechlin, let that be your pull. Teen Wolf, I'm telling you, there's been like 4 separate people that are like, "I'm not watching that stupid nonsense," and they're like,
Mm,
"This is the best. This guys, I love these guys." Like, and Tyler Hoechlin, he
yeah,
was playing a completely different part. Like, he was playing like a kind of dark,
mm.
depressing, like his whole
Is
life was ruined
where's
guy
Teen
in
Wolf
it.
streaming at? Is it streaming somewhere?
It's on Prime, Amazon Prime.
Oh,
Mm.
well, maybe one day because
Season
eventually
1 is cheesy, but
okay.
it's so lovable. It's a very lovable show. Pack the pack is just so good. I'm telling season 3 truly it literally is out of all the shows I've watched, it's like possibly the best season of a television show I've ever seen. Like it's
Mm,
crazy. It's so good.
okay.
And it gets dark. Like after I'd say probably like yeah, that's season 3, like season 5 and like 7 specifically, I remember they were like they had a new tone, like, and it was it was good. Season 1 is just it's fun, and there's a lot of people in that. There's a lot of recognizable people in that show, actually. But anyway, that's my pull. It will forever be my pull. I love that show. I remember when the premiere came out for it, or like season something, like, and I was like, I watched maybe 10 minutes of it. I was like, this looks stupid as heck, and then I left. But I ended up watching it because of like a trade where like somebody told me, like, it's like, you watch the show and then I was supposed to watch American Horror Story. And I couldn't do it. I went through all of season 1. I suffered through season 1. I can't do gore. I can't do like nastiness like that. And I hated it. And then I got to like a couple episodes into season 2. And I was like, listen, I can't watch this one. I was like, I know you like Teen Wolf. I'll watch all of Teen Wolf. I don't care. And then she's like, deal, let's do it. And there I went. My merry way.
There you go.
It's so lovable. It's lovable. That's the best word I can say. And he's great in it. And there's a million great people in it. And blah blah blah. Whatever. Anyway, School Spirits, also lovable. Let me try and bring it back around. But yeah. I really hope. Listen, I never get my hopes up completely because no, I can't do it anymore. It will break my heart.
Yep.
But I feel pretty good about season 3. I feel pretty good. I wish there were more episodes in a season though, because these 8 episodes, I can't do this anymore. I'm built for 22 episodes. I'm built on that. I can't do these 8 at a time.
I agree. I mean, because a lot of people have been burned over different shows over the years, so it's kind of hard. Like that's why it's hard for me and Shelby to watch a new show because I remember she watched a show that was on Fox years ago and she started watching. Oh, I heard it's good, but it got canceled. But she knew that going in. It's like there's 2 seasons. Okay, cool. Season 2 finale hits. I'm not really paying attention. It ends. And I turn around and I'm in the living room at our old house and I'm editing or something. I take off my headphones and I'm like, hey, honey. So how was that? She's like, I'm pissed off. I'm like, why? Because it ended on a cliffhanger and it ain't coming back because it got canceled. Remember? I'm like,
oh my gosh,
honey, you're the one who chose to watch a 20+ episode per season show and knew it was canceled. Like you didn't know it was a cliffhanger, but you kind of set yourself up for disappointment.
You know what? I kind of accidentally did that too. I did that with Paper Girls on Prime. I heard people talk about it, but I didn't think that's what it was. Like I don't know. I just for some reason I didn't think it was literally about paper girls like in the 80s. Like but I didn't my light went out. Dang, I fully charged that too. That sucks. Anyway, I didn't know like the whole premise of it was that they like end up accidentally time traveling and they're stuck in this like future world and whatever, and it was really cool. And I swear there were like 3 seasons of the show because I checked and I was like, I'm not starting this show unless there's like 3 seasons because I'm not doing this to myself. I went through the whole thing, major cliffhanger, the girls get separated in 2 different times, whatever. And it was really good. It was a really cute show. And I'm like, great, season 2. What season 2? No, it didn't happen. It actually didn't happen. So I watched this whole time thinking there was more, and then there wasn't more. So that was That was great.
You gotta be careful. And that's why I think we waited to watch Nancy Drew because we had talked about it before, but we waited till the show was done. Okay, over. Okay, we're good. So yeah.
It's rough. Even with these movies, it's like I have trouble with like these Marvel things. So DC too. I was like, listen, unpopular opinion, which I seem to have a few of with these Marvel DC things. I really liked Shazam 2, the second one. I actually liked it, I think, more than the first one. So I was excited. I I didn't see it yet. I need to watch Blue Beetle.
It's really
And I was
good.
really excited, for like that whole thing, and now it's just like, it doesn't matter anymore. Nothing matters.
It
None of these.
Blue Beetle does matter. It's connected
Oh,
to
it
the
does?
DCU. They're gonna
Okay, good.
retroactively make it because they're doing a show that's after the events of Blue Beetle that is connect.
Shit.
Well, so James Gunn has stated that Zolo as Blue Beetle is going to continue. He hasn't necessarily
Ah,
said
awesome.
exactly that
Okay,
the movie
cool.
because the movie doesn't have DCEU references. Like it
Mm.
references DC, but not specifically that universe. And they're doing a
Okay.
show because Zola was interviewed and he was asked about it during the Cobra Kai, like final episodes and stuff. And he said they were working on it. So like they're bringing back, I
Okay,
think, the
awesome.
creatives behind the movie into this animated show, and I think this is how they're going to bridge the gap between the movie and the DCU with this show to bring him in at some point live action. I think that's what they're going to do. They're going to
Cool.
bridge that gap. So
Good,
yeah,
'cause he deserves it. He's awesome. And
yeah,
from what I saw of him, he was really good.
and the fact, yeah, he really is good. And I think the fact that they didn't have DCU tie-ins. Plus, also, it's a kind of a unique character in a sense of like he's not a Superman, he's not a Wonder Woman, he's not like a
Yeah.
named household character. So that James Gunn, like, okay, I'm used to non-household name characters. Let's bring him in. Let's see what we can
Mhm.
do. Because I feel like
Yeah.
that movie, unfortunately, just was put in a position to fail
Mhm.
because it was coming out around a bunch of nonsense, like The Flash completely bombed.
Yep.
Aquaman after that completely bombed. Well, Beetle unfortunately was stuck and just kind of like,
Mhm.
you know?
Yeah. No, I get that.
So,
And you know what? It'd be smart too because Cobra Kai was pretty darn popular, so people know
mhm.
Sholo. So
Yeah, and
get him
lock
in
him
it.
down now. Lock him down
Yeah.
now. Yep.
Mhm. He's awesome.
Yeah.
But anyway, so hopefully School Spirits can have a season 3 that comes out faster than 2 years.
Yeah, it'd be nice if they
Oh,
announced it like this month, season
yeah.
3. They shoot in the summer and they get it out next year.
Yes.
It'd be nice.
That'd be ideal. Ideal. Or even I was surprised because I think they did, like, just finish filming, like, a few months before this, so the turnaround wasn't that long, thank goodness.
Yeah, because
But
their post-production, there's not like a lot they have to do
yeah,
CGI. Like it's just all in camera.
it's practical, which is awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, I well, the thought just came and then it left. Wait, hold on. Wait, let me find it. Hold on. Oh yeah, I was gonna say, maybe my ideal situation would be like they do those little Marvel things at the end of things where it's like School Spirits will return for season 3.
Oh,
Like,
why not?
please.
Yeah.
Just give me something. Don't make me wait because yeah, we were waiting forever for this. Like, at least give me
It'd be
something,
nice if
man.
like we end on Thursday, it airs, and
Mhm.
then the following Monday, oh by the way, season
Yeah.
3, like Peyton List comes out
Mhm.
because like unless she books something major, she has nothing really coming up as far as we're aware, like project wise. So
Yeah.
you might as well lock her down now. She doesn't have Cobra Kai to go back to. And she's probably
Mhm.
thinking, I'm a producer. We got to get this shit rolling. If we're going to do season 3, we got to get this going now because
Mhm.
she's got to get paid. Cause yeah,
Yeah.
like that
That's
Cobra Kai,
true.
that is done. So you got to figure out what's your next move.
Mhm.
So
That's
get it
true.
going.
Please. I'm desperate.
Mm,
I
uh,
need my
something.
shows, man. I need my shows.
I hear
I
that.
have nothing anymore. But
Yeah, it's all
I don't
good.
know. Good theories though. Good.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
there's been a lot we threw a lot out and there's a lot of good options, but I'm excited to see like which if they don't do any of those, I don't know what to
Mhm.
think. I don't know. I
It's
feel like
probably
we
gonna be
named
something
every
we didn't
possible
even
thing.
it's probably something we didn't even discuss.
Yeah.
That's probably what it's gonna be something we didn't even think of, like,
It probably is, and that's crazy.
"Ooh." Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Because
100%.
what else could they you know, I don't know what goes on in their minds, but they scare me. So,
Yeah.
we'll see. But we'll see soon on
Oh,
Thursday,
yes.
hopefully.
Yes. This was
Mm,
definitely fun. Thank you so much for being
yeah,
here, Katie. Where can people
thanks.
find you?
Well, I'm not well, okay, so YouTube, I have Canary Katie. You girls, you just gotta get back on that. train because that left the station about 2 years ago, so she needs to find her way back there. Same thing on Twitter, Canary Katie. Not on there much. I'm on my sports Twitter more, which is a whole thing. Whatever. I do mostly sport. Whatever. I pop on to Canary Katie sometimes, so you can find me there if you want. If you want.
There you go. Perfect. Well, thanks for being here. I really appreciate it. It was fun.
Yeah, thanks
for
joining me on this request because I saw it and I had to talk about it because nobody else knows it. It's like Jordan knows. I can get it. I can explain things and he'll know what I'm talking about.
Exactly. Like I know.
Yeah.
This was fun. But hope you guys enjoyed, and make sure if you haven't watched it, watch School Spirits. It is worth your time. 100%.
Hope you didn't hear all our spoilers though.
But that's
whatever.
Fine. Well, even if you're confused, go watch the show and then you'll be caught up.
Yeah. You'll figure it out. Who's Mr. Martin? Now you'll know. Exactly.
Now, we need Janet. Just watch.
Yeah.
You'll figure it out. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, you'll learn. You're learning.
Yeah, but hopefully we get a good season 2 finale. Hopefully season 3 announcement and all that. But we'll see.
We'll see. Fingers crossed.
Hollywood industry. Who knows? But But thanks again, and hope you guys had a good time. We obviously did, and we will talk to you guys soon. Bye, everybody. Bye.